I've got Jose Benavidez Sr., the trainer, father of two-time super middleweight champion David Benavidez, also the dad of a boxing star and now potentially movie star Jose Benavidez Jr. How you doing, Jose?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you so much for the invite. Super excited for March 25th. David Benavidez, El Monstruo Mexicano against Caleb Plant, man. Super excited.
Yeah, man, and we're gonna get into the fight, but before we do, man, like we were talking before, I've known you a while now. You built two kids from the ground up. You came from nothing, and now you got one guy who's still, in David, who's got the fight of his life coming up, and another one who's in the biggest blockbuster of the year so far in Creed 3. How proud are you?
Yeah, you know what? Super proud, man. I never imagined one of my sons would be in a movie, and especially a movie that's #1 in the world. So I'm super excited, man. It's great. I went and watched the movie, and a lot of emotional things came out. It was like super, super, super exciting, and I couldn't believe it, man. To be honest with you, it's amazing.
Yeah, you're kind of living a dream from where you came from, huh?
Well, yeah, I'm not embarrassed of saying, I come from nothing. I was super poor. My mother and father abandoned me when I was 2 years old, and they made their own lives, got married again, and had their own kids. And I had a struggle, man. I had a struggle from nothing. I had to eat dirt, leaves from Mexico. I came to the United States when I was 11 years old, and I had to work my whole life. And, I've been grinding, and it's unbelievable where I'm at now.
And you ended up in Freddie Roach's wild card gym under his tutelage for a long time. I know you were there. What was that experience like, and to prepare you for moments like you have coming up?
Yeah, I had the opportunity to be at the wild card for 4 years. I was Freddie Roach's assistant for 4 years, training some of his fighters there, champions. And then after that, I went to a Robert Garcia gym for like another 2 years. And then after that, I went with the Diaz brothers like for a year and a half. And I end up with Abel Sanchez and Big Bear. So I had nothing but the best trainers in the world learning from.
And now you're one of the best, whether you believe it or not. You're definitely, for what you've done in the stable you've built.
Yeah, I don't feel as much. I feel that I'm obsessed with boxing. I love boxing. I'm still learning boxing, and I think I'm barely touching the surface. There's a lot to learn and so many years to come, and I love what I do. So, let's see what happens when I retire. How much I learned from boxing.
Yeah, and you got a long ways to go, no doubt. But listen, man, I talked to David about a week and a half ago. He is amped up. He's a pretty mellow guy, just like you. You guys are pretty, good natured, quiet for the most part. But there's something about this guy, Caleb Plant, that just gets under your family's skin. But what is it exactly with Caleb in this fight?
Well, yeah, Caleb Plant, talks a lot of shit. We've been trying to make this fight for almost 5 years. He acts like he's the victim, He's always being shut up, If you look at, if you just Google the story behind Caleb Plant, you'll see, what I'm talking about, As a man, I have no respect for him, As a fighter, he is a good fighter. He's a dangerous fighter. We're having a hard fight on March 25th. As a man, I have no respect for that guy.
Yeah, and David said he's never been, like the pre-fight stuff. I told him it's like Ali Frazier. I mean, you've never experienced this kind of pre-fight activity either, I would imagine.
Dile esto que se calle, ¿no? Yeah, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that again? I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. I was saying that David has never experienced this kind of pre-fight activity, all, the trash talking to another level. I would assume that's the same for you.
No, David's very relaxed, very calm. He doesn't really like to talk, but it gets to a point. You woke up the animal out of David. After so many years of getting bullied by this guy, saying that he's fat. Even on his Instagram, he put blow up a picture of David saying that he was fat, and he's always say that about David, fat boy. and all this. He's just a bully, man. And after a while, David just got tired, man. And, he just woke up and, people don't like that. You get tired after a while of being bullied.
Yeah. Let me ask you, Jose. You know him better than anybody. He's your son. You're his trainer. Do you worry that he could be too amped up? I mean, he says he wants to beat him. He wants to kill him in there. Punish him. Do you worry about that at all?
No, not at all, because at the end of the day, he's super motivated. This fight got him super motivated. He's doing things that I never seen he's done before. It just feeds him, to stay motivated and give that extra motivation. But he'll handle himself very well. At the end of the day, he's a smart fighter. He's not going to go there with anger. If you need some anger sometimes, to go to war. But as long as you control it, I think it's good. And I think I don't worry about it. He's going to control everything. He's very controllable, and he knows what he's doing. It's a big motivation. He knows that he's not going to go and look for the knockout right away. We're going to try to break him down, hurt him, and put him away. That's the plan. But knockouts come. You don't look for knockouts. You just go in there, set things up, and do the best that you can. And when you're ready, I'm pretty sure if the knockout doesn't come, he'll have him set up so he can put him away when he wants to.
Yeah, and I know Caleb has said, he's this is the fight of his life too. Even though he's been in there with Canelo, he's prepared. He's bringing in all these, nutrition, the nutritionist, the trainer, strength and conditioning. What concerns you most about Caleb? He's obviously been on the biggest stage with Canelo.
I'm not going to underestimate Caleb Plant. Like I said, he's a good fighter, slick fighter, fast fighter, good footwork. And, he moves very well. But nothing that he has is nothing that we haven't seen or we have a spar with, those styles. The good thing about him, is that he left his old trainer. I think if his old trainer would have been with him, he would have done much better. He was the one that took him to world title. He took him all the way to the top. And now he brought his dad in. The dad was just in the corner there, to watch him and advise him. Now his dad is the trainer. Now they brought other trainers. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to adjust to the new ideas. And he's 30 years old, man. At 30 years old, you're not the same when you're 26, 27. You don't learn as fast, So that's a big advantage in our side. He has good trainers. He has people that have good ideas. But in order to execute those ideas, it takes a little bit of time. And he came from a loss when he got these trainers, and now they want to fight together, and he looked spectacular in that knockout, But in reality, to me, he wasn't looking good in that fight. That knockout just came out of nowhere, So to me, that's good. Like I said, they're still adjusting. They're still knowing each other. I've been with David since he was born, man, since he started walking. So I know him very well. So I think that's a big advantage, that we've been together. Caleb Plant says that I never put gloves on, I don't know nothing about boxing. And I'll tell you right now, I don't know shit about boxing. I'm learning. But look who I've been working with, 2 world champions, I made 3 world champions. And now I have the opportunity to be working with David Benavidez, Jose Benavidez, Rayo Valenzuela, Diego Pacheco, Daniel Blancas, So Diego Pacheco looked spectacular last week. So I must be doing something good. I don't know everything. I'm still learning. But at least my resume is better than what they all have accomplished in their lives,
Yeah, and David said, he obviously acknowledged the stuff he went through in the past. We've talked about it in the past, the kind of the trials and tribulations, a lot came at him at a young age. I mean, 2-time super middleweight champion, and he's still only, like 25. He said he's pretty much just entering the prime of his career. Like he's just getting started. You know him, you see him every day.
Yeah, a lot of people don't give him a credit. No, he's not a 2-time world champion. He's a 3-time world champion. He's the interim world champion, for the WBC, so it's a lot, if Canelo vacates the regular title, he becomes a world champion, you know, and plus he's there, you know. It's a three-time world champion, so you know, it's. I mean, we're super happy, man. Super motivated. We're gonna show the world a new David. You know, a lot of people say that he's flat-footed, that his defense is not good. You guys are gonna see a lot of head movement, a lot of defense, and cutting the ring off and going to the body.
Has this been his best camp? I mean, are you seeing just another level from him?
You know, every fighter's gonna tell you the same. This is my best camp I had. You know, no injuries, none of this. David's only 26 years old, bro. You know, we brought Memo Heredia along with Chris Denina, a strength conditioning guys, two guys that know what they're doing. Um, I would say this is the best camp because the motivation and the level of opposition, you know, and he's super motivated by his first pay-per-view event. He went to another level, bro. You know, if you've seen David two fight before, a fight before, you're gonna see David in another level, and he's only 26 years old, man. So this is the time. This is the fight that motivated him a lot more, and I could see the big step up in a different level. So I would say this is the best camp, but you know, guess what? The next fight is gonna be harder. So we have to adjust and get better, you know. So I think we have to have every fight has to be the best, the best, the best, the best.
Yeah, and let me ask you this: Bredman, Caleb's trainer, who you alluded to earlier, he said, you know, you can almost throw away game plans sometimes. You got an A, a B, a C. Basically, it's going to come down to heart. You know, the mind and the heart. Do you agree it's going to be that kind of fight?
Well, they can say whatever the fuck they want to say. You know, at the end of the day, you know, they believe on what they believe. I believe on what I believe. Uh, if you see them, they're not confident. You know, they know we're confident. We're talking shit. I need to back up my shit because I know what we're doing. You know, you know, even Caleb Plant in the media workout, the press conference, he had his hands on his pocket all the time. You know, these guys, you don't hear nothing from the trainers really. You know, they have a lot of respect, and I respect them. You know, I have nothing against those trainers. They're good trainers. You know, uh, very polite, very respectful, and I respect them too. Uh, but they could say whatever, like I said. You know, I mean, you know, uh, that's what they think, and they should think that. You know, but there's no way they're gonna figure David out. There's no way. And there's no, I'll tell you right now, too, there's no secret to this fight. You have a brawler and you have a boxer that's going to try to move around and stick and move and stick and move, you know? I think it would be nice, like Bredman said, you know, he's giving them confidence now, you know, that he can hit hard. Hopefully they could do that. They could stay there and try to trade with David. And we're going to see what happens. I don't think that's going to happen, brother. As soon as he feels those punches from David, he's going to run, move, stick, and do what our job is. Like I said, no secret. Hurt him, go to the body, slow him down in order so we can connect our punches and hurt him and put him away. And his job is to move and run and move and run and move, you know, and try to do something. And we're going to see who's the best fighter, you know, the brawler or the boxer, you know. It's a great fight. It's a good thing for us to show the people that we're ready to be at this level. And I think David Benavidez, the Mexican monster, is the best at 168.
Well, I'm glad this is almost scripted, Jose. Mexican Monster. I was just going to go there. That nickname came from the one and only Iron Mike Tyson. I talked to David about it. He loved it. You know, when he was asked about who he wanted to be like when he was a kid, he mentioned Iron Mike. What does it feel like when you hear someone like Mike Tyson give accolades to your son like that?
I feel chills even when I say the Mexican monster, you know, because it comes from a legend, from somebody that it was a monster in boxing. You know, Mike Tyson. He was the best. You know, he was a scary guy. You know, so coming from him, man, it's an honor, and it just feels great to have that name. You know, out of one of the greatest fighters in boxing. You know, so it's an honor. It's an honor, and I thank him for that. And we like the name, and especially because it comes from him. You know, the Mexican Monster. You know, we can't say it like him, the Mexican Monster. You know, but we love it, brother.
Yeah, and Tyson was also asked, if anybody beats David, and then Canelo's name got brought up, he said nobody beats him.
Yeah, the good thing is that we have a lot of people. Julio Cesar Chavez thinks that David's going to beat Caleb Plant, Mike Tyson, Barrera, Marquez, a lot of fighters. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what they think. We got to go in there and put work in and do the best that we can. It's like I said, nothing to take away from Caleb Plant. He's a great fighter, a good fighter, a dangerous fighter. So we just have to perform and do what we said we're gonna do. At the end of the day, I guarantee you it's gonna be a great fight, bro. Because like you said, it's the most important fight for his career. It's the most important fight for our career. So guess what? We gotta go get it. We gotta go get it. We gotta look impressive. We can't just win the fight. We gotta go knock him out.
So if everything goes as planned, and like I said, Tyson says David beats everybody, including Canelo. That's the fight you guys have been coveting also for the last, couple of years. You would be the mandatory to Canelo. Do you think Canelo will get in the ring with David if you guys get through Caleb?
Yeah, I don't think that fight is going to happen. He does not want to face the Mexican Monster. Yeah, I don't think the Canelo doesn't want to face the Mexican Monster. If I was Eddie Reynoso, I would probably do the same. Don't face this guy. You're going to get injured, But at the end of the day, we have to look at spectacular. We can't look over past Caleb Plant. And the only way that we could get Canelo is by, like how we did with Caleb Plant. We put pressure. He was pressure. He did not want to fight David, but he had to. There's a point that you can't hide, but you can't run. So I think it's the same thing that's going to happen to Canelo. Once we look impressive, then we own the right to fight Canelo, and the people are going to demand that fight. Does it make sense? So that's what we have to do. We have to look impressive. We can't just win the fight.
But you have a feeling, even if you win impressively, Canelo may choose not to get in the ring with him.
Yeah, but how humiliating is that going to be against the Mexican people? If you're the champion, you say you're the best, you got to fight who is looking impressive. Otherwise, you got to retire. So guess what? He's going to have to leave all those belts.
All right, you heard it here. That would certainly be the biggest fight in boxing if that were to occur. But you got first things first. Caleb Plant, March 25th on Showtime pay-per-view. Jose, any last words, comments? I know
I got a new one for you. I got good news for you. It's been going around, that Caleb Plant has been toying with David about buying his domain name, David Benavidez and all that, and trying to trick the people in order for him to sell his merchandise, because nobody wants to buy his merchandise. So maybe he thought maybe if I put David Benavidez, they'll go buy his merchandise and they'll probably buy mine. So you heard that, right? It's all over the internet. He thinks he's lick. He thinks he's all that. Sweet Hands Promotions, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what he goes by, Sweet Hands Promotions. Guess who owns that? I own that. I never said anything about it. And you know what? He's been wanting to buy it for like $25,000, and I'm not interested. I'm not interested. Do you think that I would put his name and then gotta lead them to my website? That's embarrassing. I would never do nothing like that. Use somebody else's name. David doesn't care about David Benavidez. He uses Benavidez 300, the Mexican Monster, and different names. He doesn't even use his David Benavidez, So he thinks he's been slick. At the end of the day, he wants that Sweet Hands promotion. Guess what? Like I said, I have that. I own that. And you know what? It's just parked there.
Is that breaking news, Jose?
Breaking news, brother. Ask him if he owns Sweet Hands promotion.
When did you buy it?
Shit, like he says, long time ago, years and years ago. He's been trying to buy it for almost 3-4 years. But he didn't know that I have it. He doesn't know that I have it. Now he knows who owns Sweet Hands Promotions.
Did you know that he owned DavidBenavidez.com before he came out?
No, I didn't know that because, like I said, I didn't care. We didn't care about DavidBenavidez.com. You know, we didn't really, like I said, we never used it. You know, so yeah, so we didn't. Like I said, I own his also. You know, so you know, and like I said, I would not even use it for nothing. It's just there, park. You know, so there you go.
Hey, man, I know you're a big historian of boxing, Ali. This is a new age of boxing, you know, with the internet and social media, but it all adds to the promotion. So good stuff.
Exactly. There you go, buddy. Take
All
care.
right, Jose. Well, thanks, man. Best of luck. March 25th. Once again, David Benavidez against Caleb Plant. Showtime pay-per-view. What I consider the biggest fight in boxing right now. Tank and Ryan aside, this is a huge fight for both you guys, and I wish you nothing but luck and hope to talk to you soon.